On average, the Premier League sees just over 2.5 goals per football match. Although in the 18-19 season, that topped out at an all-time high of 2.82 goals. However, there's rarely value in backing or laying the 2.5 goals market alone. So in this week's upload, I'm going to take you through the strategy and process of trading the 2.5 goals market on Betfair's exchange. The three main areas that we're going to focus on are where the value is in the 2.5 goals market, hidden ways to identify value, and how you can implement the trading strategy and process for 2.5 goals. By the end, you'll have a better idea on how to approach 2.5 goals, hopefully leaving you cashing out on a regular basis. Now, this is going to be a very good video in comparison to normal, so make sure you hang around to the end. We're also going to do a £100 cash giveaway inside this video, so stay tuned to see if you've won. So where is the value in 2.5 goals? Obviously, we're looking for situations where there's the least possible risk with the maximum possible reward. The point where there's low financial downside in the marketplace, but an increased chance of a successful trade, be it because something's happening on pitch or something that happens in the marketplace. Now, where is that? The answer, of course, is unique, depending on a specific set of variables in that particular situation, as we'll get into in just a second. But there's one key theme that runs amongst all of this, and that is time. Because it's not necessarily a case of where, but when something will happen. Now, if you can work out when there's most likely to be a goal, you've found yourself an opportunity to enter the marketplace at minimal risk, because in the over/under 2.5 goals market, there's only two potential outcomes. So historically speaking, 30% of Premier League games see a goal in the first 15 minutes, and 75% of games see a goal in the first half. This is the kind of data that's extremely useful when it comes to finding your window of opportunity. By the way, previously we uploaded a video about Premier League prediction and live statistics in play, so if you're interested in that, check out the link below. We'll put it in the description for that alternate video and where you can find those statistics. So on an individual level, per game, you need to be looking out for things like when a goal is likely to be scored, if the teams in play are currently performing in line with their recent form. XG can be extremely helpful in particular when it comes to this one, and if they have an above average scoring rate. This study that we'll share on screen, done by Smarkets, shows there's a direct correlation between team strengths and first goals. These statistics only paint a basic picture though, so next I want to take a look at the hidden bright spots that will show you where you can find value in the 2.5 goals betting market. Now, if you're finding this video useful or interesting and wouldn't mind, please take 2 seconds just to tap the like button down below there. Really appreciate that. Also, we've got some interesting football strategy videos coming up in the coming weeks, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell to be notified as soon as they're uploaded. But now let's get on with the hidden places where you can find value in a 2.5 goals market, where they are and how you can find them. Now, the problem with finding value is that instinctively people look in the wrong direction altogether. They're looking at the wrong things. They start looking for predicting the overall match result, or if there's likely to be more than 2.5 goals in that particular game, when they should be focusing on things like the average goal time of the chosen teams in the particular match, if there's added incentive to score early or late in this particular match, and also if the home team is going to have an easy time of controlling this particular match. Now, you may have seen last week's Both Teams to Score video where we talked about stuff like that, but you see, the secret is spotting where the value is at that particular point in time. Once you do that, you can exploit that value over the short term and lock in a profit by cashing out. Now, I'd advise looking at situations like this and asking yourself, is there likely to be a goal soon? Identifying that stalling point in play can be an extremely valuable thing. This is where our football trading strategy around 2.5 goals comes into play, because we need to identify a position within the match and the marketplace for the 2.5 goals market where there is a natural stalling point. There's an imbalance, between support and resistance. What's actually happening on the pitch and in the marketplace, giving us more potential upside than down. So to identify that, there's two things that we can take a look at. First of all, we can see the in-game action. Sometimes it's very obvious when the flow of play has completely changed. And secondly, we can look at the marketplace, because the natural time decay within the market will stall and slow down as the traders and bettors that are in that 2.5 goals market start to react and change their betting behaviour. Now, I'm going to share with you a few arbitrary pointers which will help you anticipate and recognise one of these situations ahead of time and clearly see it for what it is as it actually happens, because that point is the key point in time where you want to strike in the unders and overs 2.5 market. You want to open your position. So the first one is average goal time. So if we're betting in play, opening a position, trading the match as it's happening, then we want to know what the average goal time is for that particular team. We don't want it to be broad, we want it to be very specific. So I'll share with you a link in the description down below, but you can find teams' individual specific goal times, which will then allow you to understand when you see this change of play on pitch and you see the market sentiment change where, you know, the time decay no longer wants to continue. It's very typical of this situation. There's an increased chance of a goal, and therefore you can find yourself that imbalanced situation that we're looking for. The second one is their current form. So are they playing in line with their current form? Obviously we've got XG ratings. If they've recently been playing to a certain XG and they're performing in line with that right now, coupled up with the average goal time, then you can be more and more confident and clear about what you're actually doing in terms of opening a position or leaving a position open for a little bit longer, or even closing it out if that's not transpiring on the pitch. So they're really important pointers. And then finally, the exchange market activity is often very reflective of the likely chance. So it's not unusual to see situations, we'll share one on the screen now, where the price completely stalls for a substantial amount of time, offering, you know, very little downside if you're to go against the price action. Just to reiterate here, we're not looking to make a monster profit on a one-off short-term situation. We're looking to find situations where there's an imbalance, where statistically over the longer period of time we're going to emerge on top. So we're limiting our risk the whole time. That is the main objective. Now, if this is making sense to you logically and helping out, take a second just to tap the like button down below. I also want to announce this week's competition winner, Paul Harrison. He's just won £100 cash for commenting on one of our previous videos and subscribing to this channel. So if you want to be with a chance of winning in the future, hit the subscribe button down the bottom below now, and also leave a comment on this video about what you thought. Provide us a little bit of feedback so we can tailor future content. Now, the last thing I want to move on to is implementing your strategy for trading at 2.5 goals market, seeing what we're actually going to do. So 2.5 goals is an extremely popular marketplace. There's a lot of liquidity, a lot of volume passes through it, and it can be highly attractive because you can get large stakes matched. However, with there only being two possible outcomes to the overs and unders market, it's important to have a structured, systematic way that you approach every single market over and over again, managing your position effectively. So with that in mind, here are a few pointers. First of all, you want to do some pre-game research. Touching on those previous points I've already mentioned, average goal times, current XG, if a team's currently performing in line with its potential, because when it comes to opening a position in play, things are going to happen quite quickly, emotions can become engaged quite easily, but you want to manage your position as effectively as possible, and the best way to do that and understand where you should be opening your position is by knowing what you expect to see. Now, part of that planning can also be the second point I want to make, which is breaking up stakes, because as I've already previously mentioned, it's not necessarily a case of where, but when. So you can't always choose when a goal is going to go in, when the flow of play is going to change. You can observe and react to that, which is a large part of trading in play successfully. But if you break up your stakes so that it's logical and you can offset your position, potentially maybe opening sort of the first third of your trade at one specific point in time when you see what is happening that you expect from your pre-game research, then staking it up a little bit further, 5 minutes afterwards, coming towards the end of the first half. That's highly advisable too, because it gives you, the best average position you can have. If a goal goes in that meantime, then you're obviously going to be in a positive position anyway. So I'd advise breaking up your stakes and averaging out that position. What that shouldn't be confused with though is the complete opposite of risk management, which is doubling up stakes because you're losing. You need to do this with a conscious reason, which is logical and beneficial to your overall position, still managing your risk all the while. So the next point in managing your position has to be managing the what ifs. And it's important to realise that you should know the answer to this before the game even starts, before your trade is open, before you are engaged in that trading position. So what are you going to do if a goal goes in straight away and the trade travels in your favour? Are you going to lock out the profit indefinitely and walk away from it, hedging up completely? Are you going to close out your net position and let it run as a free bet further into the game? Are you going to offset your position so that you're managing your risk but you still believe the trade is going to move positively in your favour? Or not? You know, if this doesn't happen in game, then how long is it going to be till you exit the trade? Have you already picked a predefined exit point, considering that, you know, it may be a losing trade, be it on time or activity in game? It's absolutely crucial that you understand all of these different variables, how the trade is going to plan out, as well as what you expect to see on pitch before you even open the trade, to manage your position effectively. So when it comes to trading 2.5 goals markets on the betting exchanges, it's really important that you look at statistics, the information available to you, you have some kind of trading plan, and you're looking for that imbalance in the market that's going to favour you over a longer period of trades, even if this particular trade doesn't go in your favour. So do your homework, know your stats, and understand where those bright spots are likely to be before the match even begins. As I mentioned in a previous upload last month about Premier League prediction, check it out on the end screen. It's been one of our most popular videos to date.